So today we look into the terminology in consignment. So yesterday we were familiar with the terms. What is consignment? Who is the consigner? Who is the consignee? Why is consignment different from sale? What are the basic features in consignment? So we have looked into all those details yesterday. Today we'll go into the terminology of consignment. So for today's session, the outcomes will be just to have a recap of meaning of consignment and then to look into the terminology used in consignment. So meaning, we'll just have a quick recap. We discussed this already. When goods are sent by the owner or the principal to his agent or any other representative on the condition of selling goods on his behalf, for which the latter will be given a commission at a specified rate, it is called consignment. So when one person is sending goods to the another person to be sold on his behalf, we call such arrangement as consignment. The person who is sending the goods is called consigner. The person to whom the goods are sent is called as the consignee. The goods which are sent between them are called as the goods sent on consignment. And all the accounts which we will prepare relating to all these transactions will be called as consignment account. Right? So now we look into our terminology. Right? So we will look into these 7 terms because frequently we will be using these terms when we do consignment accounts. Consignment business, consigner, consignee, pro forma invoice, account sales, direct and indirect expenses. So consignment business, you can see the picture. There is a consigner. He is sending goods for sale to the consignee, and the consignee will sell the goods on behalf of consigner for commission. Always remember, consignee is not doing anything for free. He will sell the goods on behalf of the consigner on return for getting a commission. Right? So consigner sending goods, consignee receiving the goods, selling the goods, receiving commission and giving back all the money to the consigner. Right? So what is consignment? Arrangement whereby the owner sends his goods to an agent placed at some other location who sells the same for and on behalf of the former for a commission. So consigner and consignee we already know, still we'll have a recap. Consigner is the owner or principal and all the profits and loss belong to him. Remember, whatever is a profit or loss earned from the business or incurred in the business, that belongs only to the consigner. The consignee will not get any share in profits. His share is only getting commission. He is the person who sends goods to the other person to be sold on his behalf. Coming to consignee, consignee is the agent who works for and on behalf of the consigner and as per the instructions and gets commission for his services. He is the person to whom the goods are sent. So consigner will get profit or loss. Consignee will get his commission if he is selling the goods. If goods are left over and are unsold, consignee will have to return back those goods to the consigner. Now coming to pro forma invoice. See, yesterday I was telling you about the documents prepared in case of consignment. There are 2 major documents prepared in case of consignment. If you remember about sale, what is the document prepared in case of sale?
Invoice.
Invoice, yes. And what is an invoice? The other name for invoice is? What is the general name of an invoice?
Receipt, ma'am.
Receipt. Right? The general name for invoice is a bill. So whenever you are buying goods, you take a bill from the seller. Right? So the document in case of a sale is the invoice. The bill is called as invoice. The seller prepares the invoice and gives it to the buyer along with the goods. That's the only document prepared when it is the case of sale. When we come to consignment, there are 2 major documents prepared in case of consignment. The first document is called the pro forma invoice and the second document is called the account sales. So first we look into pro forma invoice. The pro forma invoice is prepared by the consigner and given to the consignee along with the goods. Am I clear? Pro forma invoice is a document prepared by the consigner and sent to the consignee along with the goods. So when the consigner is sending goods to the consignee along with the goods, the consigner will also send this document called pro forma invoice. Now, why is it called pro forma invoice? We all know what is an invoice. Invoice is a bill. So, in case of a sale, we give a bill. But consignment is not sale, right? It is different from sale. So there is no bill here exactly because consignor is not charging any amount from the consignee. So he cannot give a bill to the consignee, right? He is giving goods to the consignee only to be sold further. So what he will do, he will prepare a document which is similar to a bill. So something similar to an invoice. So anything which is similar to an invoice will be called as pro forma invoice. Right? So that is the reason we call this document as pro forma invoice. And this is a simple document like a bill, which will contain the details of the goods which are sent to the consignee. Okay. So see on the screen, pro forma invoice, also written as pro forma invoice, is one of the documents used in consignment business, which contains information regarding the description of goods sent on consignment and the price at which those goods can be sold by the consignee. So it will contain all the details of the good. That is, what is the quantity, what is the price at which the consignee can sell, what is the description of the goods. And this document is prepared by the consignor and sent to the consignee along with the goods. It contains particulars as regards name of the goods, number or quantity or weight or measurement, packing, etc. to identify the same. So it will have all the details. What is the name of the good? What is the good called? How much is the number, the quantity, the weight or the measurement? What type of packing is there? All those details. The necessary instructions are also given in it for selling the goods at invoice price or at higher than invoice price, along with the rate and type of commission. So invoice price and all we will look into later. You will not understand the terms right now, so leave it aside. You only have to understand pro forma invoice is an important document in case of consignment. It is prepared by the consignor. It is sent to the consignee along with the goods. It has all details about the description of the goods. So these 4 points, if you remember, that's sufficient, right? We will move forward and see the format of a pro forma invoice. There are no specific rules or requirements that can be followed regarding the format or presentation of information in a pro forma invoice. So they mean to say that there are no specific guidelines how a pro forma invoice should appear. Typically, it includes the name of the consignor and the consignee, basic information about consignor's business, the quantity, quality of goods, details and description of goods, and the minimum acceptable sales price. So it will have the name of consignor, the name of consignee, the name of the goods, the description of the goods, and the selling price at which the consignee is expected to sell the goods. And the document should be signed by the consignor himself or by any authoritative person of the consignor. And generally, these authoritative persons are the sales managers, because they are the ones who keep sending the goods, right? So either it is signed by the consignor or it is signed by the authoritative person of the consignor. So we will just have a look at one of the documents of pro forma invoice sheet. This is just an example document. As I already told, there is no specific guidelines how it should appear, but it should have all these items. If you can see, the title is pro forma invoice. The name of consignee is written as Robert Tea and Coffee LLC. This is the name of the consignor. The date is written when it is prepared. The address and details of the consignor are written. Address in the sense their website number, website address, their phone number, their sales tax number, and all those are written. The vehicle number in which the goods are being sent is written. The name of the consignee is written as David and Company. Then we have all the details of the goods, the quantity as well as the name. And this is the rate. So consignee is expected to sell the goods at least at this rate. If consignee is selling the goods above this rate, it is called selling at invoice price, higher than invoice price, right? And this is the amount. And this document is signed by the sales manager. Are we clear? Is the format clear? Anyone has any doubts in pro forma invoice?
No, ma'am.
It's clear, right? So we know what is a pro forma invoice perfectly now, right? So we will
So,
now,
ma'am, this
yeah.
what is the rate and what is the amount, ma'am?
See, rate is per piece. So amount is multiplied, no? These are 750 bags. Rate per bag is 10 rupees, $10, whatever it is. So 750 into 10 will give you $7,500.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay.
Right? Yeah. So we'll proceed further now to account sales. So now account sales is the second major document which is prepared in case of a consignment business. The pro forma invoice is prepared by consigner and given to consignee, right? Account sales is a document which is prepared by the consignee and given to the consigner, right? So in case of sale, we had only one document. Only the seller prepares. Buyer need not prepare anything. But in case of consignment, this is the document prepared by the consignee and sent to the consigner. Now just imagine, what will the consignee prepare? Why does he need to prepare any document?
Unsold stock.
Unsold stock, yes, correct. And anything else? Think.
Returned goods.
Yeah, returned
From the
goods is the
consignee.
unsold stock, right? See, yesterday we were discussing about expenses, if you remember. If consignee
Yeah.
is incurring the expenses, what will the consignee do? He will get them reimbursed by the consigner. Yes, because any expenses related to the consignment have to be borne only by the consigner. So now in this account sales, this is a document prepared by the consignee after the goods are sold. So what consignee will do is he'll prepare a document stating how many goods did he sell, what is the amount he received, and then he will show what are the expenses he incurred, what is his amount of commission he should receive. So he will deduct his expenses and commission from that document, from the sales amount, and then tell what is the final balance which he has to pay back to the consigner. Right? And in case of consignment business, the consignee also gives some advance to the consigner. Now, can you tell me why is the consignee giving advance to the consigner? Any idea why
Because-
consignee will get advance?
Because
Security
consignee
for
may
the
need to
goods.
pay.
Yes, security for the goods. See, this business is totally on trust, right? So consigner is sending the goods. So when the consignee is about to receive the goods, consignee will send some amount of advance to the consigner. So after selling the goods, the consignee will prepare a document called account sales, wherein he will mention all the details of the sale amount, his expenses, his commission, his advance if he has given any, and the final balance which he has to pay back to the consigner, right? So this is also a very, very important document in consignment which the consignee has to give to the consigner. Just look at the screen. An account sales is a frequently used document in consignment business. It is very important for consigner because it provides him the information about activities and transactions occurred at consignee's end. So this document will provide all the details about whatever has happened at consignee's place. Account sales is periodically prepared by consignee and forwarded to the consigner so that he can update his business and accounting records related to that consignment. The consigner is sending the goods, that's it. So what the consignee will do frequently in few days, he will keep updating the consigner as to what has happened, how many goods has he sold, what expenses has he incurred. It gives details of transactions entered by consignee on behalf of consigner during that period and the final balance due. It also contains the quantitative details apart from the financial transactions like sales, expenses, commission, and advance. So quantitative details in the sense, amount also is mentioned. How many goods have been sold? What is the amount he realized? What is the unsold stock left over which he is returning back to the consigner? All those details. Based on account sales, the consigner records the entries in his books periodically. So consigner, as I told you, will prepare
Ma'am?
the, yes, Rubina, tell
Ma'am,
me.
could you explain the first two? Ma'am, could you explain the first 3 points again? There was some power cut.
Okay, so account sales is a frequently used document in consignment business. As I told you, it's a major document. It is very important for consigner because it provides him the information about the activities and transactions occurred at consignee's end. So whatever has happened at the consignee's place, the consigner will know only through this account sales. Otherwise, consigner will not know anything because consigner is in a different place, consignee is at a different place. Right? And account sales is periodically prepared by consignee and forwarded to the consigner so that he can update his business and accounting records related to that consignment. The consigner is sending the goods. And as I told you yesterday, consigner will prepare the consignment account because he needs to know whether he has earned profit or incurred loss in this business. Right? And to prepare the consignment account, he needs all the details about how many expenses the consignee has incurred, how many goods he has sold, what is the consignee's commission. So he needs all those details, isn't it? So consigner will get all these details only from the account sales. That is why this document is called as being very, very important. So based on this document, once the consigner receives this document, then he will prepare the consignment account based on the information from this document. So are we clear with account sales?
Yes, ma'am.
So what we need to remember, if it is pro forma invoice, it is prepared by consigner given to consignee. If it is an account sales, it is prepared by consignee and given to consigner. Right? So we will see the pro forma of an account sales now. Again, account sales also, there are no fixed guidelines or fixed pro forma how it should appear. But it should contain the major details about the sale of goods, the expenses, the advance, the commission given by the consignee and the final balance due to consigner. See, it's a simple document which consignee prepare to communicate to the consigners their consignment related financial transactions and activities. It is not part of formal accounting record of either party. So none of the parties will have to keep a record of this. But it is for their information. Also, there is no specific or standard format available for preparation of account sales. The consigner may guide the consignee regarding the order in which the information may be arranged in the account sales. So if required, the consigner can tell the consignee how he wants the information to be presented. The best format is one which fully satisfies the information needs of the consigner. So you can see the pro forma. This is just an example pro forma. This is the consignee's name. Amitabh Traders is the consignee, and this is the account sales is the heading, and this is the account sales for 100 cases of radios sold on behalf of Rahul and Company. So now who is Rahul and Company here?
Consigner.
He is the consigner, and Amitabh Traders is the consignee. So you can see the details in the particulars. He has given how many radios he sold at what rate. This is the amount, and 20 cases at 550. So final amount is 59,000. From 59,000, see his expenses. He is deducting all these expenses. He is deducting his commission. He is also deducting amount sent by wire transfer. So this is the advance he would have given already. So he's deducting that. So this final balance, the consignee will pay back to the consigner. And he's also mentioning the date and his signature. So in the exam, sometimes he will ask you, draft the pro forma of a account sales or a pro forma invoice. So this is a general information. You can draft it in your own way, right? You need to show all this information. So are we clear with pro forma invoice and account sales? Do I proceed further? Yes or
Yes,
no?
ma'am.
Okay. So now we'll go to the next terminology. There are two different types of expenses incurred in case of consignment business. One is called as direct expenses. The other one is called as indirect expenses. And both these expenses can be incurred by the consigner as well as the consignee. The consigner has to send the goods to consignee. So he will have to incur packing charges, maybe transport charges, loading charges, and various other charges, freight charges, carriage inwards, all these things. When it comes to consignee will have to incur again unloading charges, transport charges, go down rent, selling expenses, various such expenses, right? So all these expenses are divided into two categories, direct, indirect. We will see one by one. So first we'll see what are direct expenses. Direct expenses are also called as non-recurring expenses. So you can understand from the term non-recurring, when we say non-recurring, it means these expenses will not occur again and again. They will not be recurring. They are non-recurring expenses. So expenses which increase the cost of the goods and are of non-recurring nature, and expenses which are incurred till the goods reach the go down of the consignee are called as direct expenses. So there are 3 points here. Consignor is sending goods to the consignee. So what will the consignee do? He will store all these goods in a godown, and a godown is called as a warehouse. Why will the consignee store goods in a warehouse? Any idea? Why does he have to store goods in warehouse? Because he cannot sell all the goods at one go, right? He might be selling them in smaller quantities. So the entire consignment which he receives, he will store at the warehouse. From the warehouse, he might be packing them in smaller quantities and then selling it to the outside customer, right? So all the expenses which increase the cost of the goods and which are of non-recurring nature, and all simple thing which you have to remember is all expenses which are incurred from the point the goods start from the consignor and reach the consignee's go down, they are all called as direct expenses. If you remember this one line, it's sufficient for you to differentiate between direct and indirect expenses. So when goods start from the consignor's place, they travel all the way and then they reach the go down of the consignee. Till then, whatever is incurred is called direct expenses. Once the goods are in the go down, the consignee might be incurring packing charges, selling expenses, go down rent. All these are recurring expenses which keep on recurring again and again. So those expenses are called as indirect expense or recurring expenses. Right? So remember 2 things. First thing is expenses which are incurred on the goods from the point goods start from the consignor's place and reach the consignee's go down. All such expenses are called as direct expenses. Expenses which are incurred after the goods reach the consignee's go down are called as the indirect expenses. Now see the screen. Direct expenses are also called as non-recurring expenses. Expenses which increase the cost of goods and are of non-recurring nature and incurred till the goods reach the warehouse of the consignee are called as direct expenses. These are expenses which are incurred to bring the goods in saleable condition. So maybe we are incurring transport charges, freight charges, carriage inwards, all these are incurred to bring the goods in a condition to be sold. A proportionate part of such expenses must be added while valuing the consignment stock. So you forget about the last point, consignment stock. We will look at this later. Right now, you have to understand only what are direct expenses. Okay. So see, non-recurring and see the examples of direct expenses. All expenses incurred by consignor till the goods reach the go down of consignee are called as non-recurring or direct expenses. So see the expenses, it might be freight, carriage, insurance in transit, that is insurance for transport, dock charges, etc. And these dock charges and freight and all these will be incurred if the goods are sent via ships or sent via air transport. Next is all expenses incurred by the consignee till the goods reaches go down are also called as non-recurring expenses. See the examples: clearing charges, custom duties, unloading charges, octroi, carriage to go down, etc. So did you understand the examples of consignor and consignee's direct expenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Only remember this
Yes,
one
ma'am.
point. Any expense which is incurred when the goods start from consignor and reach the consignees go down, till then all are direct expenses. Right? Now we'll move forward to the indirect expenses. So these expenses are also called as recurring expenses. So they keep occurring again and again. So all these expenses are majorly incurred by the consignee. So these are those expenses which are incurred after the goods have reached the place of the consignee and are mostly selling expenses. These expenses will not increase the value of the goods because the value is already fixed. Now these expenses are incurred only to sell the goods. Examples of these expenses will be go down rent, advertisement expenses, selling expenses, go down insurance, sundry expenses, etc. Remember, there is a difference between go down insurance and insurance in transit. Insurance in transit is something which consignor has incurred while he is transporting the goods, which is a direct expense. Go down insurance is a expense which consignee has incurred after the goods have reached his go down. So that is an indirect expense. So did you understand the difference between direct and indirect expenses? And this is a
Yes,
small
ma'am.
note. If details regarding the nature of expenses is not given, it is suggested that expenses incurred by consignor are all direct expenses and expenses incurred by consignee are all indirect expenses. So if he doesn't mention whether this is a, what is the expense, if he doesn't mention the name of the expense, then we cannot identify between direct and indirect. So what we should tell you, all consignors expenses are direct, all consignees expenses are indirect, right? Now see, this is a picture of consignment. So whatever we have seen till date, you can see all that at one glance. Quickly look at it. See, here is the consignor, Mr. Vivek, principal of Mr. Amit. This is the consignor. This is the major person, Mr. Vivek, right? And he is sending the, Mr. Vivek sends his goods to Mr. Amit together with a pro forma invoice to sell such goods on behalf of and at the risk of Mr. Vivek. So Mr. Vivek is the consignor or the principal. He is sending goods to Mr. Oh, he has given the names. Yeah, he is sending goods to Mr. Amit. Mr. Amit is the consignee. So you can see here he has written principal of Mr. Amit. Vivek is the principal of Amit. Amit is the agent of Vivek, right? And this is called consignment. And what is Mr. Vivek doing? Along with the goods, he is also sending the pro forma invoice, giving the details about the quantity, rate, etc. Now, what is the consignee Mr. Amit doing? See here, he is selling the goods to the buyers. Mr. Amit remits all sale proceeds to Mr. Vivek after deducting his expenses and commission together with an account sales. So if you see Mr. Amit is selling the goods, then he is preparing the account sales. What is an account sales? Statement showing the amount to be debited to consignor after making the deductions. So the business is starting from Vivek. Along with the goods, pro forma invoice is traveling to the consignee, Mr. Amit. Mr. Amit is selling the goods, and after selling, he is preparing an account sales with the leftover goods and sending back the goods to the consignor. So this is the, in short, the entire consignment business.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, who will be paying for the insurance, ma'am, if they make an insurance for the goods?
Consignor. Whatever is the insurance, consignor only will be paying. I told you all expenses will be borne by consignor. If consignee is taking the insurance of godown, he will pay, but he will get it reimbursed from the consignor. When
Okay.
consignee is giving this account sales, in that he will deduct all his expenses. All expenses borne either by consignor or consignee will be finally paid by consignor only. So are we clear with this entire consignment business now?
Ma'am?
Yes,
Ma'am, can you show the previous slide, ma'am?
previous slide. This one?
Not this, ma'am. Previous.
Before this? Indirect
Yeah.
expenses? Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am.
So see, you have to remember the consignment as a story now, a simple story, starting from consigner, sending the goods to the consignee, along with goods sending pro forma invoice, consignee selling the goods, after the sales, preparing the account sales, and sending this account sales to the consigner. And in the account sales, consignee will deduct his expenses, his commission, and send the final balance to the consigner. So this is a short story which you should remember. If you remember the story in the sequence, it is very easy for you to write the journal entries and prepare the ledger accounts. We can easily do it there. Right? Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So no doubts in consignment now. I hope there are no doubts now. Right? Okay.
No doubt.
So we will stop our